Joe Shaska's always good. We're always good here on the pregame show. Shaska going to join me here in a second for the crossover. He was like, sorry, doing a little KTVU hit. Got to do the little sniff after like Guru. Little humble brag there as Joe Shasky joins me here for the crossover. 888-957-9570. Real quick before we get to Joe, don't forget, the next 2 days, folks, that's it. Just 2 days left in the week. 95.7 The Game's All-Star Week blowout. Still got Jerry Seinfeld, Jim Gaffigan tickets. We still got jiu-jitsu, self-defense lessons, courtesy of Evolve Training Center. Go to the same place Barry Bonds went to earn his blue belt. Still got a $250 gift card to Buon Vino in Walnut Creek. Oh, get some wine, get some vino. Hot days, get some pasta with that. Oh, yeah. Delicious. Plus, still have the Klay Thompson autographed jersey. Let's go. We still got that. So be paying attention to all the shows today. Morning Roast, Steiny Goo, Willard Dibbs. Got to be paying attention. Some of you weren't paying attention yesterday. Sorry. We don't make it easy sometimes. You got to be paying attention to our shows. All right? No. Just give me a face like, maybe we should have. No. Damn it. We ask a lot from our shows. We strive for excellence here. We strive for excellence on the pregame show. Hey, Joey, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. So, were you talking Shohei this morning?
Yes, that was pretty much most of my show. Yeah. Hey.
Oh, sorry.
That was a joke. Shohei. I give myself
I missed
two.
that. I am
you
so
did.
sorry.
It's all right. It's all right. We'll go back to the tape and rewind this later.
It's interesting because I see a lot of comments here on the text line. And one of the things that I hear from people nowadays is like, American League, National League, American League, National League. Everyone realizes that those lines have been completely blurred now.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Everything's the same now.
Right?
It's how much are you willing to spend.
Exactly.
That's what it always comes down to.
With the rule synergy being what it is, and I think that realignment is coming. Once they get these Rays and A's stadium, we've been saying that forever, situations played out, Rob Manfred has already said they're going to have expansion. So you're looking at 2 new teams, and they're going to realign the divisions. And I don't know what that's going to look like. They've been talking about it for 10 to 15 years. But American League, National League is dissolving. And I just think that the way that we viewed things over the years, because look, if this was 7 years ago, there's no question he's going to the American League, right? The DH, the amount of money that they spend on their payrolls. Now that you have the Phillies and the Mets spending what they spend, now that you have the Dodgers spending what they spend, it feels like it's more equitable in terms of being able to pursue a guy in their 30s and give him a 10-year deal, 8-year deal, and not just be completely petrified of what it's going to look like out in the field because you have the DH synergy in both leagues now.
So we were talking this morning, Shohei Ohtani, right? He's the big name. He's going to be the big name all year, hell, all through Hot Stove. And real quick, do you know why they call it Hot Stove? Is it just because it's wintertime?
Well, because things are heating up.
Is that why? That's it? Things are heating up? That's why they call it Hot Stove?
I mean, I would assume.
Okay, there you go.
Am I being ridiculous?
Well, I just never knew where it came from. Like, it was just kind of a random term. Like, we just say free agency everywhere else. And baseball, it's Hot Stove.
It's the hot stove. Because you know why? It's the middle of winter.
It's
and you better turn on that stove to warm up that house.
We're fine usually here. So sometimes
I'm
some nice little
spitballing here.
60 there. Thank you for vamping for me because I didn't really know what it meant. Sam never responds to me back there anyways during my show. He's too locked in doing other things.
Because he's working on the flux capacitor back there.
You said he's Doc Brown and I can't unsee it now. That's pretty good comp. That's a pretty good comp.
Scott!
Oh my God.
Why is Farhan not getting this player?
Oh my God. If he can go back in time, what's that Giants movie he can change? 888-957-9570.
Well, it's funny that you say that because it got me to thinking today, and I would love to hear your comments. And in fact, I heard a little snippet in the green room. You know, Eagles fans have been coming down my road nonstop for multiple days now.
Oh boy. Elliott Shore Parks. And great interview.
It's funny to me because they're like, get over the loss. It's like, I'm over the loss. Like, of all the losses that I've had with the 49ers over the years, like, it's actually relatively low.
Yeah, it wasn't the loss you were worried about. It was the fans spitting on you.
Yeah, it was totally different. But it got me to thinking, right? Things you can't let go of in terms of losses, okay? And I was thinking right off the rip, immediately, as time has progressed, 2019 Super Bowl loss, although very frustrating, and it took a long time to get over, I think in time we're going to look back like, yeah, we're just a footnote, and Patrick Mahomes is, case for trying to be one of the all-time great players in the sport of football.
Yeah.
Which sucks. Yeah. But I think we're going to look at it differently 10 years from now if this guy's rattled off 5-6 Super Bowls.
Yeah. He's going to be an all-time. He's already an all-timer to me. He's already one of the top 5, top 4 greatest quarterbacks of all time.
Absolutely. I still, to this day, can't get over losing to Flacco. And the way that whole Super Bowl went down, where they just played their total B-minus game.
Joe Flacco stole some souls on that playoff run. Jacoby Jones in Denver.
Anquan Boldin destroyed us. Jacoby Jones, he's still running in my mind.
Oh my God. And then everything that culminated through that Super Bowl too, because the power going out.
Yes.
It's like, oh my God. And then the Ravens were already up 20-something points. Then the Niners made the comeback. And that always kind of makes it worse because it's like, we could have won the game.
You could pick any one. 11, losing to Eli Manning. 12, losing in the Super Bowl. 13, losing with the Sherman play. Any one of them could be your I can't get over it moment.
I can't get over. For me, it's the 2014 AL wildcard game with the A's. John Lester can't throw to first. Like, that was a season culmination of just implosion after you traded Cespedes.
When
everything
brings
imploded.
When someone brings it up, what do you feel?
Anger.
Yes.
I'm angry at Bob Melvin. And it stuck with me the rest of my career. Maybe I'm biased when it comes to that.
No,
I'll admit it. That's
it.
why I come, listen, God love you, Bob. Great guy. You got to the playoffs a lot of times. I don't trust you in big games after I saw what happened in 2014. I could live with Verlander just being better in Game 5, the couple years prior. Verlander was just a beast. He's an all-timer, one of the greatest pitchers of all time.
Totally agree.
Maybe the greatest pitcher of my lifetime. Him and Roger Clemens probably, and Kershaw. That's fine. But not throwing to first, man. You were clearly the better team. And maybe not in hindsight because the Royals team just smashed everyone and they took their Game 7.
You were on a roll that year.
You were the World Series favorites.
I know.
During July.
I know.
You had a bajillion All-Stars. Donaldson, Moss, Kazmir, everyone.
So sick.
So stacked. Sonny Gray. And you didn't have Jeff Samardzija available. You didn't. You thought you had all these.
How angry you are.
Well, it's just you had all this opportunity. Say what you will about other man. Bruce Bochy, he went into those wild card games balls to the wall.
No doubt.
Pittsburgh,
leave no stone uncovered.
The Mets, whoever you guys played, the Mets, the Pittsburgh, they left everything out there on the field. Bob Melvin was managing that game like they were going to play the Angels next series. That's not happening, Bob.
I love you.
Throw to first.
I love you so
much. John Lester's forever dead to me. Hall of Fame my ass with John Lester, please.
The way you just said God is exactly the most. So I want to hear from fans today. What's that one loss that it just someone brings it up, you lose your mind. For example, with the Warriors, when they lost to the Toronto Raptors in 2019, not that I wasn't sad. I was sad, but it was kind of like we kind of fell apart. It was the end of a run. We physically broke down. It frustrates me. Fred VanVleet and Kyle Lowry, I can't stand those guys. But you know what? My team showed a lot of effort, which just wasn't our year. You know what I mean? Yeah. It happens. We ran out of gas at the end, right? Yes. Clay goes down. KD goes down. Steph had been hurt prior to that. It just wasn't your year. Yeah. 2016, though. You bring up 2016.
Oh.
And I know that the consolation prize was KD, but I'll never get over that loss. No. I know I sound like a psychopath. I will never get over that loss because that's the most fun I've had watching.
Cleveland, this is for you.
There you go. Well, that's the thing. It's that man. And the way they gassed up that one title, because it was Cleveland's first title in forever. Since whatever the Indians back in the 48, 49, whatever, they've won it. And now they have the longest drought. No, dude, for me, for the Lakers too, 07, that was a crusher. They were up 30 points or whatever it was.
I know.
And they blew it. And anything is possible. Kevin Garnett, overrated, as we've learned. Pau Gasol, way better in my book. But again, those ones stick with you. The Lakers getting swept by the Nuggets, okay. They had a team for 2 months that got them to that point.
But here's the thing, Joe. Also, you have to remember, the older, for my dad, I don't think certain losses hit him the way that they hit me because of his age or his perspective. So I do think that people have different perspectives. For the Giants, right? I'm sure me and Sam Lubman are going to have different opinions on this. Game 6 is pretty synonymous with most Giants fans about my age. But when you bring up 1993 final game of the year, Solomon Torres, also to guys my age, it also evokes emotion.
No,
because 93 is one of those seminal teams. If you're about 40, the 93 team meant something to you.
Yeah.
Right? And so, for example, other Ace fans. I was born in
93, but yes.
I'm sure other Ace fans, they might have the Derek Jeter play. Somewhere up there.
Giambi not sliding. Yes, I was.
That team was sick.
I was 8 years old, so it doesn't hit me as much.
That's what I'm saying.
But again, I was also 8 years old when the Tuck Rule game happened, and I saw it through the lens of my dad.
Okay, so how did that hit
furious. My dad was more angry at the time than because I didn't realize the ramifications of what was happening. I was like,
gotcha.
Oh, we lost. That sucks. I was just pissed that we lost. But then my dad's like, no, we didn't just lose, son. We just got screwed out of the game. They just made up a rule.
Sorry for laughing.
No, it's facts though. That's something a dad would say, right? No. son, we didn't just lose this game. We just got screwed. And then maybe in hindsight, because you saw the Patriots succeed, that's when it started to hurt more.
Has your dad ever gotten over it?
Well, I want to know. I need to ask Bob Spadoni. Maybe we should get him on here at 888-957-9570. He was alive during the Immaculate Reception.
No.
Huge Raider fan. I want to know what his thoughts on that whole thing was, because the Raiders had the lead. They were going to the Super Bowl that year and probably going to win it. And that happened.
I know.
That happened. And apparently it wasn't even the wrong, they knew it was the wrong play, but they didn't want to call out, and all the people stormed the field already, so they didn't want to go to the refs and be like, okay, you need to overturn this. They were afraid a mob was going to get on their hands. It's like, everyone's against the Raiders, as we've learned from John Elway should have been a Raider too back in 1983. But
I can't wait to get into that. I can't wait. No, but like the other thing is like, so my dad, for example, if you bring up the back-to-back Super Bowls, 88, 89, you know what my dad says? Oh, they left one on the table. You know, Montana got knocked out by Leonard Marshall and Pepper Johnson and Roger Craig fumbles, and they left. And yes, I know that, but that pain doesn't. Because I was a little too young, the pain doesn't transfer over to me the way the pain does for them losing 11, 12 in 2013. Do you know what I mean?
No, I absolutely do. Dwayne Baker here on the YouTube chat again. Jeremy Giambi not sliding against the Yankees back in 01. God, just brutal. I still think he was safe, but instant replay. We got to get it to our boy Derek Jeter, I guess. The Tuck rule, Dwayne Baker again. From the Comcast Business text line, 90 NFC Championship game. Roger Craig fumble. There you go. 97 versus the Marlins.
Renteria.
There you go, Edgar Renteria.
Drives me nuts.
But it all kind of went full circle, right? Edgar Renteria, 2010 final MVP.
Who barely played that year and then got healthy for the playoffs and had one of the biggest home runs. My favorite of all that is they mic'd up Andres Torres. He told me he was going to hit it. He told me he was going to hit it in the on-deck circle. I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it.
So much swag for Andres Torres, by the way, with the hat, the open shirt. So swaggy. 2002 World Series Game 6, Joe.
I mean, that's
Felix remember Rodriguez. That too. We were all the family, because my dad, huge Giants fan. We were all watching it. Yeah.
Don't even. I'm telling you, there are certain losses, and that's why I want to tell Eagles fans, like, look, it sucks that we lost to you. Like, I'm not going to pretend like it did. Like, it does suck. But, like, on the list of things that I can get over that one, and it sucks that Purdy went down the way that he did, right? And I'm sure for a lot of young fans, they'll never get over it.
Dude.
But I'm going to be real with you, it isn't even close to 2011, 12, and 13.
The Bay Area, now that they've had some
heartbreaking losses.
They've had some brutal losses. 408. Raiders versus Colts, Christmas Eve. Derek Carr, broken leg. Magical season over. He's never been the same since.
I mean,
ever.
That's a great call.
It's just like, that's like one of the great what ifs in sports. If that doesn't happen, Flem's voice cracking on the Renteria.
Can I ask you this one?
A good one?
Like, I'm sure there are younger Warrior fans that are going to say, what about the play-in game? When they couldn't stop the LeBron and Ja in back-to-back games.
Oh my! Hey, LeBron seeing 3 rims too.
And hey, let's try everyone on Ja Morant, and it's not working.
Boy.
And Draymond called OT.
Oh my God!
When he hit rubber on the side of the backboard.
Draymond, I can't wait for the NBA season. Oh my God! I can't wait for NFL. We got a couple weeks for all this stuff. It's going to be tremendous.
As I would say, war-torn Warrior fan from the 90s. I go back to the We Believe, that Utah series. I hated Derek Fisher so much.
Hated him, didn't
Derek
you?
Fisher
Carlos
much.
Boozer, Williams, Karolinko.
It's why I will always hate the Jazz. And I
don't think Boozer was on that team yet, was he?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he was? Okay,
It was him and Meme Okur, I believe, destroying the Warriors.
Don't worry, Lakers smoked them the next 2 playoff series.
I will worry because I can't stand them.
That's Joe's chat.